Ah, yes, Austin, Texas, our glorious capital city. With so much to do, why would anyone ever want to leave this wonderful place? The sights, the sounds, the smells, the music, the arts, the nature, the politics, the food. All right, I think you get the picture.
Yep, Austin is good, really good. But sometimes with so much to do, it just all seems overwhelming. That's when I like to go to my happy place. So I grab a snow cone and I hop on the happy train, the Zilker Zephyr Happy Train. While the Zilker Zephyr may be a dang good ride, the good news is you don't need a train to get to any of the places we're going. You just need a car and about a tank of gas. Heck, you can even get to some of them on a bike, they're so close. That's because everything on this show is only one day trip away from Austin. From the barbecue country out east to the hill country out west, we'll take you there and we'll get you back home before dark. So what are we waiting on? Let's hit the road. I'm Chet Garner, and this is the Austin Daytripper. If I could just find a way to get off this train. Sir, can we pull over? We got a show. We're doing a TV show.
This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info.
Today we are headed to the hill country. We're gonna do a little barbecue, a little caving, a little Tex-Mex, a little cliff jumping, and then, well, we'll see where the day takes us. Most of you have probably made a trip to the hill country, but you might have never gone to this particular town or this particular lake. So I'm really excited about taking you there. We're going to Burnet, Texas and Inks Lake. Burnet, Texas is about 50 miles northwest of Austin. To get there, you hop on 183 north, and then you take a left on Highway 29 at Seward Junction, and you'll run straight into town. But on the way to Burnet, there is another small Texas town that's worth poking around if you got a little extra time. It's called Bertram, Texas, population 1,300. Bertram is about 40 miles from Austin and about 10 miles from Burnet up the road. It's a little town that popped up on the railroad tracks and really thrived around the turn of the century when they were moving all the pink granite in the hill country down to the cities below. It's just your good old-fashioned sleepy small Texas town, and things move a little slower in Bertram. And evidently my train's moving a little slower today too, so I'll just have to wait this one out, I guess.
Bertram, Texas may not seem like much when you pass through. That is, unless it happens to be Labor Day, when this town holds its annual Oatmeal Festival, named after the nearby community of Oatmeal, Texas. A while back, I decided to make a short trip to Oatmeal, thinking I would at least be able to enjoy a bowl of fresh oatmeal with the local residents. Here are the pictures. I was pretty excited when I got there, but the place seemed a little empty. You would think that at least one of Oatmeal's 20 residents would have been around to greet me. I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find a soul. But I didn't let it stop me. I was determined to eat oatmeal in oatmeal, even if that meant eating it alone. So I sat and ate my lonely oatmeal. It was very bland, and I was very alone. However, just as I was about to lose heart, I heard some noise. Who could it be? Why, it was Mr. Oatmeal himself. And he even brought his own oats. Oh, I was so excited as I cooked the oatmeal. I don't make oatmeal often, so I was very nervous about serving it to Mr. Oatmeal. He took the first bite, and he loved it. So we ate our oatmeal together, and we laughed and we ate, and we laughed and ate oatmeal, and we laughed and ate. He was quite a joker, although most of his jokes had to do with either oatmeal or Great Britain's King George. He was funny anyway. We laughed and we ate, and laughed and ate, and we had a merry time with all the laughing and eating. Ooh, we laughed. Oh, we laughed. We laughed. At one point, we laughed so hard that oatmeal came out of our noses. How embarrassing. Okay, confession. Those pictures were faked. When I visited Oatmeal, I didn't see a single soul, especially not Mr. Oatmeal. But hey, the canister is always there, so go knock yourself out.
Well, it looks like I missed my train by about, 75 years. But the main reason you may want to stop in Bertram is still down the road. So let's keep moving.
If you've picked up a copy of the latest Texas Monthly Barbecue Rankings, you may have noticed a little place called the Bertram Smokehouse. But only months after being ranked, the Bertram Smokehouse closed its doors. But don't worry, my fellow smokehounds, because with every death comes the opportunity for new life. Meet Jim, barbecue entrepreneur and rodeo cutting world champion. This is Frank, pit boss extraordinaire from the Bertram Smokehouse. Jim and Frank got together, and Jim plus Frank equals Bertram BBQ.
And these guys cut right to the chase. You don't even have to go inside to order. It's all here in the warming pit. Let's do a half a pound of brisket, sausage link, and then a couple spare ribs.
How's that look for you?
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good.
There you go.
Look at that.
I was salivating. But before digging in, I sat down with Jim to talk about the new business.
Of course, you can kind of tell from looking at me, I've always loved good barbecue and kind of fancy myself somewhat of a cook. And Frank, I just kind of stuck our heads together and decided we'd try this. I've spent most of my life raising and showing, cutting horses. I've been fortunate enough to win 9 world championships. You have 2.5 minutes to exhibit or show your horse. You ride into a herd of cattle, separate one cow, and the object is to keep that cow from returning to the herd.
So I'm here at Bertram BBQ, and I've just sat down to a plate of Texas-sized heaven. Got the sausage, the brisket, the pork ribs, white bread, beans, coleslaw, pickles, and sauce, and sweet tea. Whew, it looks good. Frank's done up all his own rubs, and you can taste them in the brisket. It's like a deep, deep smokiness. The sauce here at Bertram's is a little different than what you might expect. It's not so much a pouring sauce, it's more of a vinegar-based dipping sauce. Oh, it's so good. Our production assistant, Mary, actually ate it with a spoon. She drank it. Yeah, it's that good. And then you go over to the ribs, and my gosh, they're these huge, delicious pork ribs. The meat's just falling off the bone. The sausage here is incredible. They worked for weeks trying to get the recipe right, and they nailed it. All the beans you can eat, and this is Frank's special coleslaw. Frank's whipped up his own recipe here that he brought over from the smokehouse, but tweaked a little bit. Still got the pecans, sunflower seeds, sort of a sweet vinaigrette on it. Totally different from anything you'll find anywhere else. The barbecue here at Bertram's, maybe the new kid on the block, but the flavor is not new. It is perfect, it is smoky, it is delicious. Gotta stop at Bertram's BBQ. Come in here, say hi to Jim and Frank, and then dig in. And that's all I'm doing from now on. Y'all can keep moving, because I'm sticking right here.
As much as I would love to spend all day eating barbecue, we've got to keep moving. If you've made it this far, you've only got a couple miles left to go before Burnet.
Burnet!
Burnet, the bluebonnet capital of Texas, is by no means a big town, but compared to all the Bertrams and Oatmeals around, it feels like a metropolis with its population somewhere around 5,000 people. It's pronounced Burnet, and if you can't remember, the locals would be happy to remind you.
It's Burnet, darn it. Can't you learn it?
So I'm here walking around downtown Burnet, around the square, and everything's pretty cool, but you know, one thing it's lacking is like a ridiculously small city park. Oh, wow. What do you know, it's perfect.
We now interrupt this programming to remind you to like and subscribe. Now back to the road.
Burnet is also the home of the Highland Lakes Squadron of the Commemorative Air Force. The Commemorative Air Force is a volunteer organization made up of individuals dedicated to preserving the history of the skies and of our servicemen and women who've kept it safe. They keep a number of perfectly preserved aircrafts in their hangar. is open for tours on Wednesdays and weekends, but most days you'll find the members of the CAF sitting around enjoying a cup of coffee. And if you ask nice enough, they'll be happy to show you around.
This is awesome.
Burnet is also an excellent launching point for the upper Highland Lakes. Let's take a moment now to review our Highland Lakes. The northernmost lake is Lake Buchanan, which flows into Inks Lake, which flows into Lake LBJ. South of that is Lake Marble Falls, which flows into Lake Travis, which of course flows into Lake Austin, which flows right downtown into Austin's own Lady Bird Lake. Burnet sits only miles away from the Buchanan Dam, separating Lake Buchanan from Inks Lake. Today, we're headed to Inks Lake, and the best way to take it in is at Inks Lake State Park. This is a 1,200-acre park offering miles of hiking trails through the granite outcroppings of the hill country and water access.
One of the great things about Inks Lake is that it's a constant level lake, meaning the water level doesn't rise and fall with all the Texas droughts. Another great thing about Inks Lake is that they make it really, really easy to get in the water here. You can rent a canoe, rent a kayak, rent a paddle boat. You can just sort of roll in off the bank, or you can get in the best way. That's to jump in, cliff jump in. We're on our way to the Devil's Waterhole, which is just a short hike down the road.
The Devil's Waterhole lies off a finger of Inks Lake. If you make the hike back or kayak back, you'll be greeted with lots of people just floating around enjoying the Texas sunshine.
This is the place they call the Devil's Waterhole. It's one of the best swimming holes in Texas. The pink granite and the water give you excellent cliffs to jump off of. That is, if you're brave enough to take the plunge. No one really knows how it got its name, but it's not hard to imagine with the dry sun and the parched and rocky landscape. I mean, as far as I know, the Devil's never really even been out here to take a plunge and a swim of his own. I mean, I think it's just a whole bunch of myth, and someone made up the name to just sort of bring tourists. I mean, I really don't believe the Devil personally swims at all.
You don't have to take the plunge to enjoy the cliff, as there will undoubtedly be plenty of people eager to jump for your people-watching enjoyment. There are two major cliffs. The shorter one, which is still no joke, and the taller one for the thrill seekers. It's easy to be big and bad from the ground looking up, but climbing to the top and looking down is enough to humble even the biggest of talkers. But I would not be swayed by fear. This is the Austin Daytripper, dang it. On a hot day, it doesn't get much better than the Devil's Waterhole. It's little hideaways like this that make you realize how much you truly love Texas. But even with the water here, the sun can be brutal. I mean, the hill country is definitely God's country, but someone had a hand in making it this dang hot.
Hot enough for you? I'm on vacation!
And if you just can't seem to beat the Texas heat, then there's only one solution, and that's to go underground here at Longhorn Cavern State Park.
Longhorn Cavern State Park is open 7 days a week. Tours are $12.99 for adults and $7.99 for kids.
So I'm here at Longhorn Cavern State Park with Brad Henry, the cave expert. And Brad, you've been here
20 years.
20 years. Brad's gonna take us down into the cave. We got our flashlights ready. Let's go on down.
Longhorn Cavern is one of only 2 river-formed caverns in the United States, and one of the largest caverns in the state of Texas. Due to its unique formation, Longhorn Cavern looks a little different than other caves, with smooth flowing lines rather than pointed stalactites and stalagmites. In the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps, that is, the CCC, put in the blood and sweat to remove all the river silt from the cavern and to install the lighting, making it accessible to tourists today. But The CCC days are just one small part of the cavern's history.
Man, what do we call the room we're in right now?
This is the Indian Council room. Comanches used it for over 600 years. Sam Bass used to use this room as a hideout in the 1870s. Legend has it he told everybody that his money was still buried in that cave by Burnet. Why do you think I've been here 20 years? And I'm looking for it. The only thing I've ever found were old whiskey bottles. This used to be an old speakeasy.
Speaking of moonshine, there's still an old bottle of this stuff in the cave.
This is the cathedral room. Was once a church when they had the speakeasy right next door. Funny thing is, sometimes they'd even bring a change of clothes, go in there and party at night, sleep in the church, and wake up and go to church the next day when they changed clothes up here. It was called the first air-conditioned church in Texas. Some call it the first alcoholic church in Texas.
We're back in the back room, where evidently LBJ had his bomb shelter.
As interesting as it may be, the human history of Longhorn Cavern is just a flash in the pan compared to the natural history of this place.
They call this here the Hall of Gems. It's the largest deposit of calcite crystals in the United States. This portion of the river at one time was actually really slowed down and became kind of a pool. And as the water would slowly go down the water table and go back up, this lime, or from hard water, because this is limestone, stuck to the walls. And every time that pattern happened again, you get crystals that are over 1 foot long. It's amazing.
You gotta rub the bare nose for luck.
But it is a natural formation. And there's his eye, there's his nose, there's his mouth.
And what a lot of people don't know about Longhorn Cavern State Park is it's actually haunted by as many as 100 ghosts. So we were just walking by this right here, and this little light flickered, and I barely even noticed it, but Brad said that means something?
Oh, yes, yes. A lot of times when we have tours, we'll go back to get the little boy at the wishing well, okay? And there'll be a little boy here, and then he's not there when you get there. And a lot of times when we have people come down, the lights will flicker twice. And it just happened. Our cave is what you could say haunted, I guess, but most of them are very nice. We have tours here. The Austin Paranormal Group comes in about once a month. I don't come in here alone. I know they're friendly, but they like to pick on me. So sometimes they even say your names. Probably won't believe me, but it's true.
So we just had a paranormal experience in the Longhorn Caverns.
Brad seems to draw a little more paranormal activity than the average human visitor. Psychics have told him it's because he's been here before, in another lifetime. He didn't believe them until they showed him this old picture from the CCC days. Or should I say, his CCC days. But it's not just the ghosts that you have to watch out for.
Thanks, Brad.
The pathway for the tour is mostly level and easily accessible for visitors young and old. But if simply being underground in a cave isn't extreme enough for you, the cavern also offers a different kind of tour.
The Wild Cave Tour is not like the regular tour. It's below the regular tour, several feet. About 30 feet under it. In some places there's chutes where you go down. To be honest with you, if you like to adventure, you don't see a lot of beauty on the tour. It's small holes about the size of, sometimes the size of a coffin. This is one entrance to the Wild Cave Tour.
Think we can go down there a little ways?
Well, we can walk a little ways, but it gets a little low after a while. Well, I can show you a little bit if you'd like.
Let's do it.
Come on.
You know, Longhorn Cavern State Park, I gotta say, you don't expect these sort of things underneath the ground everywhere we're walking in Central Texas. This has been really, really, really cool.
And once you're ready to emerge from the catacombs of Texas, you're sure to have worked up an appetite. So we're headed back into Burnet for some of the finest Tex-Mex the Hill Country has to offer. This is the Mexican. This place is family owned, run, and operated top to bottom. This is Amber, one of the co-owners, greeting us at the door, and that's Mamaw, the hostess. This is Max, as in the Mexican, working in the kitchen, and this is Maddie, the owner's daughter, giving us the grand tour.
So I'm here at the Mexican in Burnet, and you look at this menu, it is extensive. They've got all the great Tex-Mex stuff, but then they've also got the chicken fried steak and the brisket, the fried catfish, and it just keeps going on and on.
Are you ready to order, sir?
Oh yeah, I think I will have the Marcia's Special, please.
I sat down with Amber to talk a little Tex-Mex.
Myself, my husband Max, and my father Bill are the owners. And my grandmother is our hostess at the door. So we got kind of all the family working with us out here. For the last 2 years, we've been voted for best restaurant in Burnet County. I think it's the value, you know, you get the whole package. You get the grandma at the door, you get the excellent food, the great atmosphere of the little house, and extremely friendly service because everyone here loves to be here and loves all the people that come in. You can be sitting at your table and all of a sudden you'll be having a conversation with Joe and Betty that come in every day for lunch. You get to have just a really pleasant experience like being at your friend's house, but with the best food ever.
But enough with the talking, I was ready to eat.
That's a really good salsa.
And for a little pre-dinner relaxation.
No, I don't think so.
So I give everybody that goes because I'm going to be very special.
You see this? You don't get this treatment anywhere in Austin. Oh, this is fantastic. And I'm not just getting special treatment because this is a TV show. You do this for everyone, right? Yeah. So nice. Oh, Mamaw. No. Oh, wow.
Extremely hot.
Wow, this looks good. This is the Marcia's Special, which is named after Amber's mom. And what you have is bacon-wrapped shrimp stuffed with jalapenos and Monterey Jack cheese, a chili relleno with the cilantro cream sauce on it, rice, beans, garlic butter mix. Wow, let's dig in. They call these things angels on a horseback. But it's much more fun to eat than it is to play with. Wow, it's delicious. Now, taste one bite of the food, you know why this place was voted the best restaurant in Burnet 2 years running.
It's been one heck of a day. We missed our train, had lunch with some friends,
I just want to eat barbecue.
went underground, then beat the devil at his own game. Finished it off by dining with the angels.
I'll see everyone back in Austin. I'm gonna stay here and finish this plate. And I think actually I will have another back rub, please, if you could. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. The main reason we need to stop in Bertram is still down there. So, yeah, that wasn't good at all. It's not coming. That's not good. The main, so.
Oh. There's that down there. Just leave me.
Very ironic. I'm from Palestine and I'm so white.
Keep the pitchfork lower.
You keep your pitchfork lower. I think I've had one too many flaming daiquiris. My nipples are fine.
Howdy, y'all. Follow along with my adventures at Daytripper on Instagram and at the Daytripper TV on Facebook and YouTube. Or head to thedaytripper.com for travel guides, past episodes, and info on our mobile app and Team Daytripper.
This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. Howdy y'all, Chet the Daytripper here. Thanks so much for tripping with us. Remember, while you're here, like this video, subscribe to our channel so that we can stay out there on the road and keep on tripping. Did we miss anything in this town? Leave us a comment, let us know. We love finding out about new stops with all of your tips And if you love Epic Texas Day Trips, remember to check our channel. We got a lot of them on there. Also, don't forget, if you want some sweet Daytripper merch or another cool Texas-made product, come see us in Georgetown at the Daytripper World Headquarters. You can also shop online if you check the link down there in the caption. All right, y'all. Bye con Dios, amigos.